Word Eyes brings you any educational knowledge or information around the globe, current or many years ago, that has historical or significant value. It is your eyes to the world. Guys, today I am deviating from my regular news blogging, but instead sharing with you what goes on whenever I am writing on a certain subject. It's more about me now, what goes on in my own little world when I try to come up with something like writing a piece of an article, editing a photo, or creating a video, a blog as people call it. Way back in 2012, a few months after I arrived in Barrow, now Utqiagvik, Alaska, I saw on the beach how big waves were crashing on the shore, splashing against some barriers along the shoreline. At that time, to me, seemed fantastic when caught on my camera. I felt like being hypnotized as waves rolled inland and ebbed back to the sea. But I never realized beneath the mesmerizing beauty of that powerful forward movement of big volumes of water, it was, in fact, eroding the shoreline gradually, taking back to the sea what's in there on land. The reality hit me when I read many months afterwards that Kivalina's existence had been threatened by the confluence of a strong storm, waves, and climate change. Kivalina is one of those villages on the edge of the Chukchi Sea. At that point, Barrow came into my mind. I thought its existence could be endangered too.
Lies Kivalina, a barrier island in northwest Alaska, now on the front lines of global warming.
Walking along the beach, whenever I had the time then, I saw big sandbags, many of them along the shoreline. The idea of writing about Barrow disappearing from the face of the earth popped up then. I didn't like the idea of Barrow vanishing. I just couldn't believe it would happen. But the prospect of it happening is there, as I saw big waves crashing on the coast. Getting down to write didn't easily materialize. I cannot seem to get the push to do it. However, I did start somewhere, interviewing a guy who provided valuable information to begin with. Unfortunately, that was all I did. 9 years later, in 2021, Buckland, a village also by the sea, went underwater due to an ice jam brought about by global warming. The water had submerged almost the entire village, which required residents to evacuate. With Kivalina and Buckland going underwater, Utqiagvik is reported to be planning to build a seawall. This is the push I'm looking for. I went to my computer, did some reading about everything I wanted to know. It took me several hours, several days to say the least. I pounded out my lead sentence. I didn't like it. I did another one, and another one, and another one. It didn't strike me a bit. I was like having a mental block. I moved to the living room, watched the news, lots of news, as I always do every single day.
All these organizations are filed as nonprofits and NGOs, have been funded with hundreds of millions of American dollars. They're so proud of it.
Until sometime, or many times, I fell asleep. The following day, I went out, stretched my legs, walk around the community where I live. I'm now doing my regular exercise, walking around the community almost every day to maintain my health, a good health, as well as to remove some of my mental blocks whenever I am trying to write on something. For me, this is a good exercise which I do almost every day. This time, feeling energized, I started writing down my thoughts about Utqiagvik vanishing. Who would ever imagine that Utqiagvik, as well as the other villages of the North Slope Borough, or those villages perched right at the edge of the Arctic Ocean, at the point where Beauport and Chukchi seas kiss each other every now and then, would one day go underwater and might even disappear from the Alaska map. Inconceivable? Yes. Possible? Pretty much. I read over and over again the first paragraph, figuring out the next sentence or paragraph. Nothing was coming into my mind. I felt blank again, as it happened many times whenever I sat down to write. I watched a movie in the basement. I played some music from YouTube, hoping it would perk me up. I hit the keyboard again. This time, the creative juices seemed to be flowing smoothly. Words were coming out one after the other. Global warming can lead to a decrease in the Arctic sea ice. When sea ice melts, it produces thinner sea ice that retreats rapidly. Similarly, when ice melts, the sea rises, inundating coastal areas. This is when tremendous soil erosion can occur. A strong storm produces big and stronger waves hitting and crashing against the coast. Then washing away great amount of soil from the coastline as it breaks away on the beach and ebbs until another waves strike again. Somewhere down in the middle of what I'm writing, these paragraphs came out. Since Alaska sits on permafrost, when the sea ice melts, the sea rises. Permafrost also melts. The top active layer deepens. The soil softens and shifts, placing in danger the structures on top of it. The increase in temperatures due to climate change also causes floods. Areas inundated with huge volumes of water sink deeper. Then my eyes were becoming heavier. They were closing down. I was feeling sleepy. Sleep was trying to take over me. Ultimately, I fell asleep, only to wake up once I felt something jolted me back to life. I stared at the computer screen again. This was what I had done so far. The Stevenson Street, a two-lane gravel road sandwiched between the ocean and the lagoon, is hit every time the town experiences a storm. The pump station near it poses the danger of being inundated by water from the sea. Strong waves brought by big storms can impair the bluffs on the south end of the town. Every time Stevenson Street is washed away and damaged by a storm, some profound effects on the community are bound to happen, like contaminating the source of fresh water, destroying the sewer infrastructure, and disturbing the operation of electricity as well as access to the internet to some extent. Experts predict that by mid-century, almost everything in Utqiagvik, as well as the other villages, could be underwater. The coastline in Utqiagvik is receding from 35 to 65 feet per year. In fact, some 3/4 of Arctic sea ice has already vanished, and it is projected those left behind will also be gone within the next 15 years due to the speed at which the temperatures rise, believed to be more than twice the average of global rate. To address this scary problem, the News-Barrow would build a 5-mile seawall that would protect Utqiagvik from extreme storms. The seawall would prevent strong waves crashing onto the coast, thus preventing soil erosion, while maintaining Utqiagvik's connection with the ocean and at the same time having access to its traditional activities like boat launchers and walkways for easy access to the sea. The News-Barrow and the federal government should put their acts together and do something now before it's too late. Utqiagvik is just one storm away from a catastrophic disaster. I think I'm done. Allow me to share with you the closing paragraph of Can Utqiagvik Disappear? Kivalina's seawall had been put in place to postpone the small town's eventual disappearance in some later time. Can another seawall be a permanent solution to Utqiagvik's problem with coastal soil erosion? And possibly prevent it from going underwater? In effect, save Utqiagvik from vanishing from the face of the earth? We can only cross our fingers and hope it will. Good night. I can now rest my tired mind. And that's for now for Word Eyes. Stay tuned on my next vlog and don't forget to subscribe, please. Thank you.